Hi, how's it going? Blazing Yeti here. In today's video, I'm going to cover everything you need to know about the update and what's changed so far. The first thing you might notice is that you'll get an email explaining that the businesses have first time sale bonuses. Let's start with what's changed in the businesses. So a lot's changed in the nightclub. From now on, whenever you enter the nightclub, there is a chance that you will get a message and you have to do either one of two things. Either kick out a troublemaker or drive a vehicle home or to the hospital. The troublemakers are easy, you just have to find them in the nightclub. When it comes to escorting the VIP back, you need to drive slowly and you can't crash. If you drive too fast or you crash too many times, then you will fail the mission. This doesn't give you a lot of cash for doing the mission, but it does increase your popularity quite nicely, so I suggest doing them when you see them. You now have the option to call Tony up and request a popularity mission. The nice thing they've added here is you can now see your popularity on the go. You can also request a limo service. You also have a new contact, Johan. He will call you relatively quickly when you load up the game. If you give him a call back, he will allow you to see the nightclub stock levels and request stock missions. They're very quick missions, they're simply go and grab the goods and bring them back to the nightclub. However, they don't really give you much cash and they only give you a little extra stock. There's also a 20-minute cooldown, so you can't repeat these back to back. It's not amazing, but Johan is pretty cool. And don't forget your first sale mission is double money, so fill it up as much as you can. Changes to the bunker. They've added 2 new resupply missions, but that shouldn't really matter because you should always be buying your supplies every time anyway. The interesting thing they added was excess stock deliveries. It seems like they appear while you're processing stock or you have stock stored away. They seem to appear roughly every in-game day. The mission is just a simple delivery. You will have enemies after you, but don't worry too much. Unfortunately, the vehicle is very slow as well. You get 50k for completing it, however your first delivery will be triple money for a limited time. You can now call Agent 14 and request a bunker research mission to increase your research bar, or you can request some transport. I haven't been able to test out and see what the research missions are like, because unfortunately I've completed all of my research. So if I get any information on this, I will leave a pinned comment. Once again, you will get double money on your first sale mission for this one. Changes to the MC Clubhouse. What's changed in the MC Clubhouse? Quite a lot actually. Kinda like what they've done here, because this property kind of actually has a use to it now, it never did before. They incorporated a customer's garage, just like in the auto shop, but you need to own a custom garage before you can do this. You will get messages randomly saying that you have a customer's bike in the shop. It will cost you 10k to customize it, and you will get 50k back, plus your upfront fee of 10k. All you have to do is drive it to the drop off and don't crash. The more damage you do, the more money you take off your end profit. Unfortunately, you can only deliver the vehicles by yourself. You cannot request a mechanic to do it like you can at the auto shop. I've also added a similar system to the nightclub popularity bar. There are bar resupply missions now. To start, you just need to go up to the bar in your clubhouse. When you start the mission, you just need to steal a van and bring it back. However, there will be enemies after you. You either need to drive fast without crashing or get out and shoot them. If they damage the stock too much, you will fail the mission. Once you get it back successfully, now your bar is stocked up and you'll be getting a daily income of 5,000 every 48 minutes, which can be picked up from a bag inside your office. Fortunately, there is no bar at the bottom of your screen like on nightclub, so you can't actually tell when you need to resupply the bar. When I find out more about this, I will leave a pinned comment. It also added 2 new contracts, Hit the Roof and Life and Death Bikes. Death Bike mission is actually pretty fun. It gives you the option to either keep driving the bike or bring it back to the clubhouse for payment when you finish, which is pretty cool. You get to drive the death bike around if you don't own one. The Hit the Roof mission is rather annoying in my opinion. I accidentally blew up the cargo bob. Then I had to go and get a new one, and then when you pick up the correct crate, the cargo bob is extremely slow, so maybe they can tweak this in the future. But anyway, moving on, CEO businesses. As well as adding the ability to sell stock in an invite-only lobby, you can also start source missions in an invite-only lobby now. However, you cannot do this in a terabyte at the moment, which is typically what you would use if you were trying to grind out crates. You would park your terabyte in between. You can't really do that anymore. You can still start them from either the arcade or from the office. If you want to do these in an invite-only lobby, it might be worth moving your warehouses so that your arcade is in between the two, so you can use your arcade's master terminal. And yes, you can use the master terminal inside of an invite-only lobby now. Things that have changed with special cargo is that you now have a new employee, Lupe. She's in your special cargo warehouse, and she has the ability to source special cargo for you, and it will cost 7,500, and she can source from 1 to 3 crates. You can go to multiple warehouses and activate all of the workers at once. Then once they've sourced you some stock, go to the office and talk to your assistant and start an export mixed goods mission. You would have to go and pick up the goods and take them to the docks. Very straightforward mission. So far I've had 2 variants, one where I've been chased. The second one I had to lose the cops before I could deliver it to the docks. And unfortunately you cannot use Leicester. 2 new source missions have been added. So far I found the auto shop mission, but I haven't seen the other one yet. With the auto shop mission, you need to obviously go to the auto shop, clear out the enemies, but then you'll need to find some keys in the garage which will be placed on the wall somewhere. Then you can unlock the van and take it back to the warehouse. One thing I'd like to point out, be careful when you find the keys because 2 enemies will come out the front doors. The agency has now been nerfed back to its original payouts. Payphone hits are back down to 50k and security contracts are back down to near 20k rather than 60k. Not much has changed in the auto shop except now that the mechanics are better at delivering your vehicle, so you do get increased profits. When it comes to heists, they have increased the cooldown for all of the heists to 48 minutes. If you run Cayo Perico solo, you have to wait 2.5 hours before you can start it again. Also, while doing the Cayo Perico heist, if you have a high value item, like the pink diamond, you will have an increased chance of getting a worse item, but its value will be increased. From the second playthrough onwards, players can now spend more time looking around Cayo Perico, and you can be caught more times before being kicked off the island. There has also been a bug that has been found that is freezing guards in place when approaching them, so be careful, it could mess up your usual route. They've also increased payouts to heists from the heist update and the Doomsday heist. I'm not going to go into detail in this video because I plan to do videos on all those heists separately soon. So subscribe, hit that bell thingy, that way YouTube notifies you when I drop my next video. Now you've done that, let's go and look at the vehicles that they've added, and they've also made some changes to some old ones. First of all, the oppressor. The nerf is not as bad as what people were saying. The rockets are just a little bit harder to aim. It's really not as hard as some people were saying. I didn't miss as often as some YouTubers have shown in their testing, but the nerf to the countermeasures is where it really gets hurt. Flares have been reduced from 20 to 10 flares, and the recharge time has been increased from 3 seconds to 10 seconds. Chaffs have been reduced from 10 to 5, and the recharge time has increased from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. So they basically halved everything and doubled how long it takes to use them. However, even though they've messed up the countermeasures on the oppressor, they at least did something right with the Sparrow, and you can now equip countermeasures on that. Go to your submarine, sit in it, and then you bring up the customization option, and you can see now that you can add flares and chaffs. I tested the flares out a little bit and they've got a really good spread on them, so I think they'd be really helpful. The new vehicles that they've added are Bay Omnis EGT, Bravado Greenwood, Pagasi Torero XO, Lampadati Corsita, Benefactor LM87, and the Buckingham Conada. I think all of these are pretty good vehicles. I don't really see the point in the helicopter, but I'm sure somebody will enjoy it. They've also added some customization options for old vehicles, like liveries and stuff, for the Benefactor Sterling GT, Pagasi Zentorno, Rotti Turismo R, Ubermatch Sentinel, Cheval Picador, Benefactor Schwarzer, Benefactor Schwarzer, and for all of the vehicles they have also added the ability to equip low grip tyres at how Special works, and any vehicle that can enter the MOC or the Avenger can now be upgraded in the vehicle workshop. We also got a new gun added, the Precision Rifle. It's a powerful single shot rifle. The gun is great, the only downside is there is no attachments for it. If you want to buy it and you have an agency, don't forget to go there for the discount rather than buying it in the normal shop. For a limited time, after completing any of the business sale missions, you will unlock the beat off AirPods. Then just go to the store and equip them. You get an increased high demand bonus for selling in a public lobby, which seems to be quite substantial at the moment. From what I've seen, I think it's about 2.7%. Wages and payouts given to bodyguards, associates, MC members have all been raised. They have also changed the websites for the cars. There are now filter options to make it easier to find vehicles. When calling your mechanic, it now takes less time for him to deliver it to you. You can now also buy 2 more properties, meaning that you can have 2 more 10-car garages, giving you an extra 20 cars. Players can now switch lobbies without having to go to story mode. They've added a ton of new accessories. There is 200 new items of clothing, 60 new tattoos, and 2 new hairstyles. Players are no longer charged for destroying another player's weaponized personal vehicle. If you bring up the interaction menu, you can now get max ammo for all of your weapons in one click. When opening your weapon wheel, you can now equip armor and eat snacks by the click of one button. Love this feature, it's super handy. Unfortunately, you can't do this while driving though. If you fail and have to quick restart a mission, your snacks will be restocked to whatever they were at the start. Finally, you can jog inside of the casino and the nightclubs. So run free, go on, go. Now, when English Dave, Miss Baker, or someone else calls you up and you get really annoyed, you can now hang up on them. All players that finish a premium race will now receive a payout. Race and adversary mode payouts have all been increased. They've done a ton of changes with the race creator, and they've added a new contact missions, the IAA missions. I'm going to cover that in a separate video. I'm going to go through every single level and find the best ways to do them. But for now, stay tuned to the channel, hit that like button. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.